What's up, y'all? It's your girl MeganA'Nya, and I'm back. I took like a week because I'm just trying to get job situated, life situated, just living life really. But I'm still being consistent. I'm still being present. I'm still here, y'all. I'm still dropping. I'm still active, writing, thinking, creating, and that's all that matters. So today's EP is about loyalty, and we're going to just get into some definitions. We've been structuring this season with the word, with the verses that the Lord has promised us as people, and he says he keeps his word, and we should hold him to it. So in order for you to hold somebody to something, you got to know what they said and keep account of what they've said. So we're just gonna vibe out. I got some, probably 3 EPs written already. I'm gonna drop, I know for sure tonight, in a row, and then I'm gonna write some more, and I may drop them tomorrow or tonight. Just depends on how the night goes and flows. But yeah, y'all. So loyalty. What? I feel like this one is okay. I'm gonna just read it because it's tricky of my point that I'm trying to get across. So I just gotta kind of read it how I wrote it and flow with it that way, rather than just speaking on it because it's a point I'm trying to make. So first, my perspective of loyalty. Loyalty is something that we can add to the list of values. We talked about values. We talked about things that are important to us. Having a really assured importance to something, value. Like loyalty is one of those things, just like the fruits of the spirit that you bear. The things that we narrow down into other words, it still comes back to those 9 principalities of the fruits of the spirit. And I feel like loyalty plays a part in all of those. So we simply have unspoken principles that if you get, you get, and loyalty is one of those things. Some people obtain it and some people don't. And in social interactions, I feel like that is something that is a foundation for relationships and bonds, not even just like spouse relationships, more like friendships, families, spiritual relationships, relationships with yourself, relationships in a spouse way. But loyalty is just a personal characteristic that you either withhold or you don't, and your childhood kind of influences rather you've learned how to withhold loyalty or your actions towards someone, and all of the things that loyalty would be defined in your perspective. So to me, what does loyalty look like? Putting me on game, being transparent and honest. Like, don't leave people in no blind. Living your truth. My whole thing is, if I can trust you, if I can trust the words out of your mouth, if I know for a fact of what you would do and what you wouldn't do, and because you live with transparency and honesty within your space and environment, I can respect that. I can be loyal to you. I can stand 10 toes behind you, knowing this is what they would engage in, this is what they wouldn't, because they're honest, they're transparent. And I don't believe in leaving people in the blind. I live in my truth. I put people on. I don't fake kick it. You gonna know if I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? You never have to second guess with me. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So it's just like, I not require that, but I appreciate people that I come across who are able to be transparent, not only with their thoughts, but with their livelihoods and with their emotions. Like I said, I could just understand that, and the trust. I'm gonna just highlight that word, and I can respect that. Let's get some definitions thrown in there so that we can have a full understanding and grasp what it is that we really need to understand, and obtain from this topic. So for one, loyalty is a synonym for Synonym, antonym. Oh, y'all. My soundboard's still not broken. Still not fixed. Lord, I'm just all over the place. Help me, Jesus. My soundboard's still not fixed, so I can't, just pause it and double check behind myself. But one of them, y'all. Synonym, antonym. It's been a little minute. TT again. Oh, I be at work every day. But nah, I think I was right. But, anyways, the root word is loyal. So that's what you go to the definition of loyal. And to be loyal means the state of, loyalty is the state or quality of being loyal, obtaining faithfulness, or to commit, to have faithfulness to your commitments or obligations. Then it's another definition: faithful adherence to a sovereignty, government, leader, or cause. Then the root word loyal means faithful to one's sovereign, government, or state, faithful to one's oath, commitments, or obligations. The Lord be trying to be funny, and I can't really tell y'all why, because it's personal. But just know, if you know, you know. I don't be doing stuff on purpose, you know. It be presented to me. So, to me, we got to really break it down, because what is faithfulness? What does it mean to be faithful? What does it mean to have faith? What is faith? So, in the dictionary, faith is confidence or trust in a person or thing. Beliefs in anything as of codes of ethics or doctrines within a belief of God. Beliefs that is not based on proof. The observations of this obligation, or to obtain and follow through with one's promises, oaths, or allegiances. That's what faith has. All those definitions. It's, again, one of those words that have a plethora of different meanings, different perspectives, and different definitions. So, within having a full understanding of what loyalty means, to have faithfulness is to have faith, and to have faith, you must trust and be confident. So, when people say, I'd rather have loyalty over love, within loyalty, you obtain faithfulness, and within faithfulness, you obtain trust and confidence, which helps you structure love, because love is a fruit. So without loyalty, you don't have love. Without faithfulness, you don't have love. Without trust, you don't have love. So it's like, I'd rather not have loyalty over love. Loyalty is a form of love. I feel like us as people lack trust and faith in each other, which causes no value to show up in families, relationships, friendships, and no commitment. We have no allegiance. We have no feel of obligations to those we love. There, you obtain no loyalty. And it's seen a lot. It's seen a lot in the Black communities, to be specific. I've seen some things that was saying how Black communities have the 25% marriage rate, and everybody else is higher than ours. Because it really stems back down to history, and that's an EP within these 3 EPs that talks about slave mentality. But it's just like a lot of our teachings came from a system of corruption. It was meant to divide and separate those who are really the creation, if you want to put it into short terms. Basically, all social perspectives lack loyalty. Like, we lack loyalty in families. A lot of people, dysfunctions start within their homes, and that's another EP that's following after these. So y'all better keep up with these conversations, because I'm piggybacking off of other EPs. So it really shows who's listening, who's paying attention, who's really grasping things. A lot of families are their children's first heartbreaks, first forms of dysfunction, shown their first influence in the world. A lot of relationships show what they lacked in their families, in their personal growth, and We lack loyalty. People cheat. People are dishonest. You can't trust anymore. I feel like people in our generation is not getting married. They're not obtaining the understanding of family and growing together as one, and not just being a baby mama or a single mother. We like loyalty and friendships. People in this take your man culture and I want people who are equally yoked around me, who is going to uplift me and pray with me when I am down, and celebrate me when I'm up. I don't need to be second guessing or watching nobody next move around me personally. Y'all lack loyalty. Y'all lack principalities within simple characteristics that you should obtain to have a full understanding of how you should maneuver through this world. And the Bible, like I said, the Bible has an answer for everything. So everything I'm saying, the Bible, when I went to look at the Bible verses that were attached to this topic, it literally said all similar things, and we're going to get into it. But we as people lack spiritual and personal loyalty, meaning you can't keep a promise to yourself, and you can't hold yourself accountable and hold yourself to a state of commitment. How you going to do that for somebody else? How can you commit to someone else and to help someone else if you can't even commit to the betterment of what you say you're going to do for you? Some people don't have self-respect. They don't have a self-worth. They don't have value, faithfulness. They have faith in themselves that they can lead themselves, do this without someone. Or like people who are, in toxic relationships, they don't have faith that they can live without for the betterment of themselves, And I've been in that space of heartbreak and confusion, but I had to have faith that, this is not what's best for me. And I'm going to just move forward and take the actions that I need to take to get myself out of this mentality, and just spread love and nothing but kindness in return, and do what was best for me. And faith is confidence and trust. You guys don't trust yourself. You don't have confidence in yourself. What? See how it all ties together? Some people lack spiritual loyalty. To be loyal is to have faithfulness. To have faithfulness is to have confidence. Y'all. You got to learn how to commit to you first, and then commit socially in this world with your actions. It's just about, it puts me in a state of being stuck, because there's so many forms of situations where people haven't shown loyalty, people to their families, to their siblings, to their kids. It's sad to think about. And my thing is, we use these words, but we don't even really know the true meaning. I'd rather have loyalty over love, because love really don't mean what. But to have loyalty is to obtain all these other things, to have faithfulness, commitments to your obligations, to have confidence, to have trust in people or things, to believe in a code of conduct and ethics. And in order to do that, you got to understand what the Creator intended for us, which His conducts and ethics are the fruits of the Spirit, and love is one of the direct fruits. So without loyalty or without love, you won't have loyalty, faithfulness, or all of these other things. So how would you have one over the other? We use these words and we don't even have a full understanding of what they truly, truly mean. These simple preschool popcorn words that we use. So let's bring it to facts. And I feel like spiritually, you can't commit to good or against your flesh, because it's hard to commit to God and His plans for you. You spiritually, we lack because we lack commitment. It takes works. Faith without works is useless. You got to put in some action. Yeah, you can hope and hope and hope and have faith all day, but in order to get out of the situation, you got to put forth an action behind your faith. Because what do they say? Faith. They said faith is a belief that's based on no proof. You got to have action to create some tangible proof that your faith paid off. But you starting off with faith. You have no proof. You just got to do it and go, Throughout these verses, the Bible describes loyalty as steadfastness, faithfulness, or loving and kindness, or as a continuous sacrificial choice to stand by God and others. I'm gonna say that again. I've been at work all day. I'm tired. I'm ready to just kick back my feet, but we got obligations, we got priorities, we got things that we gotta get done. Throughout the verses, the Bible describes loyalty as steadfastness, faithfulness, or loving kindness, as continuous sacrificial choices to stand by God and others. This highlights allegiance. You must have that allegiance to God, even in the court system, right hand on the Bible, prioritizing his will above all else because he gives us choice. So what does the Bible say about loyalty? The ultimate loyalty is to God first and foremost. Matthew 6:24. No one can survive serving two masters. Either you will hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. Again, the highest allegiance must be to God. Even the government stems it on the Bible, and it doesn't even have to be in a religious perspective, just the higher creator. We came from somewhere. What does the Bible say about loyalty within relationships? The Bible is full of stories of loyal friendships and family bonds, teaching us the truth behind loyalty and what it means to be present when times are tough and when, you need to help out, when you want to just be a giving person and give a giving hand. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for advisory. And, my perspective, so if I'd rather have loyalty over love, when the Bible says loyalty is love. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born in advisory. The Bible talks about loyalty within relationships and describes it as love. Ruth 1:16. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. And that's Ruth expressing her unwavering loyalty to her mother-in-law. Loyalty starts within family. If I don't got nobody, I should have my family, no matter what. And that's what a lot of people lack, especially in the Black communities. We grow up and we go apart. And we're supposed to be stronger than ever. Take it back to, like I said, slavery times where families were divided. We should stick together, but we do the opposite, We are the first to tear each other down as men, as women. We tear our kids down. We have the lowest marriage rates. We hurt each other. We create and obtain the dysfunction that divided homes were literally systematically in place for our communities, and we lack loyalty. You should depend on that's important for me. When I grow up and have kids and a family, I pray that God blesses me with a husband. God blesses me with a man that can lead me and my offspring into generations of greatness and abundance as we are a team, as we are one under the spiritual divine of God. And we're going to even talk about that within this. And if I ain't got nobody, I got family. That's how it's supposed to be. If I ain't got family, if I ain't got friends, you got God and his unwavering loyalty to you. because you are his creation. Deuteronomy 7:9. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments. 1,000 generations. God send me a man that's going to lead me in 1,000 generations through you. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Family loyalty. God said, you just stick to what I said is good and have allegiance to my ordained plan of your life. I will lead you in 1,000 generations. He said it, and he said, hold me to everything that I say to you. Loyalty is love, to obtain the fruit for your heart. Obtain the fruit for your heart so that you can lead with structure and allow God to spread love and his goodness amongst you and the offspring of more generations to offer, And learn to have loyalty to you. If you don't like something, if you feel uncomfortable in a situation, respect you enough to love you, Commit and hold yourself to a certain standard and value, Have allegiance to you and what you believe in. And make sure that it's not something that's going to tear you down and, it's a negative, toxic thought or thing to believe in. Y'all got to grow in the spirit, grow within so that it can show externally. And this is where I am in life, y'all. You got to grow internally so that it can glow externally. And this season is for the people, y'all. I'm wrapping up these last little EPs for my 30-day run, but I'm going to keep posting because, y'all, it's for the people. And everything we have in this world, people can get involved, y'all. I want y'all on the pod. I want people to tell their story. I want people to spread motivation, and we really grow this community. So, after these 30 days of what I've spread and what the root and what God needed the people to know as far as a foundation, we're going somewhere with this. It's a movement, y'all. And you got to just stick with me. You got to get with me, and you got to just stick with me because it's going to grow and it's going to be something so good. And yes, it's just a podcast, but God blessed me with a voice and my presence, and he shows and glows through me, y'all. And God wants to fill y'all with the same, motivation and thrill for life and sureness and faithfulness and just love and joy and patience and self-control. He just wants to fill you with the abundance in you and 1,000 generations after you. We losing the plot of basic, simple principalities. We lost it over the years throughout generational quote-unquote curses, when it's really just mentalities and mindsets and steadfast, unwavering, sick mentalities that y'all just keep passing through thousands and thousands of generations, when y'all need to just educate yourselves as people so that we can thrive and build foundations within our families so that we can literally produce thousands of fruitful offspring to put out into society, and we can make the world a better place. But it ain't gonna happen overnight. God said thousands of generations, not hundreds, not tens, but thousands. So if I can do anything to help, if I can speak wisdom in areas where I feel like we lack as people, this is the season for it. Because that's how I feel. I'm saying it fresh off my heart, fresh off the dome, fresh out the Bible. I'm backing everything with a spiritual fact, with a verse. I'm fighting with verses, y'all. So you either get it or you don't. But that's loyalty, and that's how I feel. And we got 2 more EPs for tonight, I know for sure. So y'all just vibe out with the kid, because I'm in that mode. Hey, I love that for me. Yeah. But that's one. I love y'all. Tune in to the next one.